Hook zeros. Imagine a sound so low it vibrates in your bones, a hum that only 2% of the world can hear. But for them, it never stops. Pattern interrupt threes. Scientists have measured it. They've traced it to empty fields, to quiet suburbs, to the dead of night. Yet no one can find the source. Pattern interrupt 12s. Those who hear it start to change. They lose sleep. They lose their minds. Some have even taken their own lives to escape the noise that isn't there. Pattern interrupt 22s. Now, one man with a microphone and a recorder is about to prove it's real, but what he captures will make you wish you were deaf. Hook end. This is the story of the world hum, and why science refuses to touch it. Chapter 1. The First Whisper. It started in Bristol, England in the 1970s. A quiet town. Nothing special, but then people began to complain. A low, persistent hum, like a diesel engine idling in the distance. At first, it was dismissed. Just tinnitus, the doctors said, or the wind. But the complaints didn't stop. They grew. Hundreds of people reported the same thing, a sound that came and went, always at night, always when they were alone. Pattern interrupt. The local council launched an investigation. They brought in sound engineers. They set up microphones in backyards and bedrooms. They recorded for weeks. And what they found was impossible. The hum was real. It registered at around 40 hertz, just above the threshold of human hearing. But it had no source, no factory, no road, no machinery. The sound seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. The engineers were baffled. They called it the Bristol hum, and then they quietly dropped the case. But the hum didn't drop. It spread. Cliffhanger. By the 1990s, reports were coming in from around the world. The Taos hum in New Mexico, the Kokomo hum in Indiana, the Windsor hum in Canada, each one the same, a low, throbbing noise that only a fraction of the population could hear. And those who heard it were never the same. Chapter 2. The Rise of the Hum. Let's focus on Taos, New Mexico, a small town in the desert, beautiful, quiet, remote, perfect for someone who wants peace. But in 1993, the peace was shattered. Residents started calling the local radio station. They said there was a sound, a hum. It was worse at night. It made their teeth ache. It made their ears ring. Some said it felt like pressure in their chest, like something was pushing down on them. Pattern interrupt. The town held a public meeting. Over 300 people showed up. They were desperate for answers. Scientists from Los Alamos National Laboratory came to investigate. They brought sensitive equipment. They measured seismic activity, electromagnetic fields, radio frequencies. They found nothing, no explanation. The hum was there, on the recordings. But they couldn't pin it down. One researcher said it was like chasing a ghost. Then something strange happened. The people who heard the hum started to change. They became irritable, paranoid. Some couldn't sleep for days. One woman described it as a drill in her skull. A man said he felt like he was being watched, not by a person, by something unseen. Cliffhanger. A few moved away. The hum stopped for them, but for those who stayed, it got louder, deeper, and it started to feel personal. Chapter 3. The Hunt for the Source. Fast forward to 2011. A man named Glenn McPherson, a geography professor in Canada, started experiencing the hum. He was skeptical. He thought it was just his imagination. But his wife heard it too. So he did what any scientist would do. He built a network. He created an online database. People from all over the world could report their hum. The results were staggering. Thousands of cases, every continent except Antarctica. The hum was global. Pattern interrupt. McPherson called it the world hum. He analysed the data. Patterns emerged. The hum was most common in rural areas. It peaked between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. It seemed to follow the seasons, but still no source. He considered everything. Power lines, Cell towers, ocean waves hitting the coast, even the Earth's magnetic field. Nothing fit. Then he found something. A correlation. The hum seemed to coincide with very low-frequency radio waves, VLF. These waves are used by the military for submarine communication. They travel through the Earth's crust. They can penetrate solid rock. But VLF waves aren't audible. They're electromagnetic. So why were people hearing them? Cliffhanger. McPherson had a theory, a terrifying one. The human brain might be translating these waves into sound, a kind of sensory hallucination. But if that was true, it meant the hum wasn't just a noise, it was a signal. And someone, or something, was transmitting it. Chapter 4. The Evidence That Changed Everything. In 2018, a team of researchers from the University of Southampton decided to settle the matter once and for all. They built a portable recording station. They took it to locations where the hum was strongest. They used microphones that could capture infrasound, sound below 20 Hz, too low for humans to hear. They recorded for 72 hours straight. Pattern interrupt. The results were published in a peer-reviewed journal. The hum was real. It registered at 19 Hz. That's below the threshold of hearing, but when sped up it sounded like a heartbeat. Slow, rhythmic, organic. The researchers said it was likely caused by ocean waves crashing against the continental shelf, that the vibration travels through the Earth, that it's always there. We just don't notice it most of the time. But that explanation has holes, big ones. Ocean waves produce infrasound, yes, but that hum is constant. It doesn't come and go. It doesn't peak at 3 a.m. It doesn't drive people to madness. Cliffhanger. And it doesn't explain what happened next. A man named David, a hum sufferer from Illinois, decided to record the hum himself. He used a high-sensitivity microphone and a digital recorder. He set it up in his bedroom at midnight. The next morning, he played back the audio. He expected silence. Instead, he heard something else. A voice, a low, distorted whisper. It was almost intelligible. Almost. He shared the recording online. Other hum hearers confirmed it. They heard the same thing. A voice buried in the hum. A voice that said one word, over and over. Listen. Chapter 5. The Silence After. The recording went viral in the hum community. Then it was taken down. No explanation, no warning. Just gone. David's account was suspended. His computer crashed. He said he felt a pressure in his ears for days after. He stopped investigating. He moved to a city. He says the hum is gone now, but sometimes late at night he hears it again. Faint, distant, and he wonders if it was ever really about sound at all. Pattern interrupt. The world hum remains unexplained. Science has its theories. Ocean waves, tectonic plates, power grids. But none of them account for the uniformity of the experience, the same frequency, the same symptoms, the same feeling that something is wrong, something deep, something that shouldn't be heard. Cliffhanger. Here's the question that keeps me up at night. If the hum is just a natural phenomenon, why does it only affect 2% of people? Why does it feel like a message? And if it is a message, from the Earth, from the military, from something else entirely, what is it trying to say? Maybe the scariest part isn't the sound. It's the silence. The hum is always there. You just can't hear it. Not yet. But if you ever find yourself alone at 3 a.m. in a quiet room and you feel a pressure in your chest, a vibration you can't place, don't ignore it. Listen. Because the hum might be trying to tell you something, and once you hear it, you can't unhear it. Thanks for watching. If you want more mysteries that have no answers, hit that subscribe button. And if you've ever heard the hum, leave a comment. I want to know if you're one of the 2%, or if you've just become one.